Hi, this is Java Tutorials 101 by Josh and Scott. I'm Scott and today's topic for this video will be Java abstract classes and methods. By the end of this video, we can define what are abstract classes and methods, why we need to use it, and how we use it in coding. Later in this video, I will show you a demo on how we will code Java abstract classes and methods to provide you with clear understanding on this video's topic. I will be using a Java Online compiler IDE in having the demo. In creating Java classes, there's a process of hiding certain details and just showing the essential attributes of the object from the user. That process is what we call abstraction, and to accomplish it, we use abstract classes and methods. Well, to put this into perspective, let's say you have a class animal and there's a method sound, and the subclasses of it like dog, horse, lion, cat, and others. Since the animal sounds differ from one to the other, there's no point to implement this method in the parent class. That is because every child must override this method to give its own implementation details, like the lion class will say roar and the dog class will say woof in this method. So that being said, the good choice would be making the method sound into abstract, and making it abstract we force all the subclasses to implement this method, and we also need not to give any implementations in this method in the parent class. Since the animal class has an abstract method, which is the cell, you must need to declare this class abstract. Now, every animal must have a sound by making this method abstract, and made it compulsory to the child class to give the implementation details to this method. Now let's proceed to the coding. What we already have here is a regular class and method. We have a public class named abstract, and now we can start by making an abstract class, and let's name it students. We use the keyword abstract to identify the class as it is an abstract class, and same as with the abstract method. Let's add a method to this class, and we can have it as study method. And another thing is that an abstract class can declare one or more abstract method, and at the same time it can accommodate both an abstract method and a regular method or a concrete method. When compared to a normal class cannot have an abstract method. Now we go back to the code. We can make study method print out a type of study, which is let's say online learning. Next, we're going to create an object so we can make use of the abstract class. We'll say that student s is equal to new student, and this is under the main method. We can make use of the abstract class just like any other class by putting s.study there. This line calls the study method, which is under the abstract class students. You can just execute this code because it would have an error. This would show an error because the object student that was created cannot be instantiated, since there is no implementation of inheritance between the main method and to the abstract class that was created earlier. Next, I will create a class named Xavier, and this class would extend to the abstract class students. This implies that the class Xavier is an extension of the class students. There, extends. Now, the study method can be used to the class Xavier. Let's try to change the student under the class named abstract to Xavier. And let's also change S to X for uniformity. New Xavier. their X study. Before we continue this code, abstract method is basically a method but is not yet implemented, since implementation means we put a code inside a method. In creating an abstract method, there are particular rules to follow. The first one is that an abstract method doesn't have a body. It just contains a method signature. Second, if you have a class that has an abstract method, the class that you made should be declared as an abstract. This doesn't mean that the opposite of this is true, which means that an abstract class doesn't need to have a compulsory abstract method. Now, back to the code. We will create a method in the abstract class. Let's put it as programming. Public static void programming. We have here is an abstract method, but we haven't assigned yet what this method will do. If we call this method, it doesn't know what it will do, since the classes Xavier and students are inherited. We don't have to put the implementation in the abstract class itself because we're doing abstraction. And as much as possible, we are hiding all the implementations, so by placing only the abstract method in the abstract class, we are only showing less from the whole function of that particular method. Let's put the command, let's say ccsc20 there. cscc20. Now, if you put X programming in the abstract class under this X study, this x.programming, this code now will run and display as online learning cscc20. These lines, which are X study and X programming, will call the study method and the abstract method programming. Both lines call this method through the class Xavier, which is also an extension of the abstract class students. There. The program that was created showed the key functions of abstraction using abstract classes and methods. It basically consists the implementation of the abstract class by simply placing it inside another class so as to show only the method, which is not final. I chose to exemplify the code aside from the fact that it shows the process, but also is a basic code and easy to understand. That's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have learned something from me. Once again, I am Scott, and this is Java Tutorials by Josh and Scott.